Hello and welcome back to Syracuse, New York for Gatekeeper and HyzerMedia's coverage of the 2024 Syracuse Open, sponsored by the Pies Guys. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by former champion of this event, Dan Brooks Wells. How's it going, Dan?
You're too kind, Nathan. It is going really good, and we've been seeing some great golf. We got great weather and some better players.
Yeah, these guys playing very well out here on the Clay East course. We've got Harry Chace leading the way at 16 under par, followed by Danny Moynihan, Andrew Cochran, and Zach Sisson looking to make some moves here on the back nine. Plenty of other players in the mix. Lots of scoring separation in these woods, and I'm expecting more to come.
Yeah, I saw some familiar names on there on the scoreboard. Shout out to Matt Miller. But we are going to be at hole 10. This is a par 4, 405 feet. Really, really tight the entire way. However, it is definitely eagleable. I've seen it plenty of times. So these guys are going to try and rocket one through, and it's just kind of dog legs to the left.
Yeah, this is a hit the initial gap and then kind of just hope it works out kind of hole.
Pretty much, yeah.
Looks like a good shot from Harry, but this one is a bit early from Cochran. That one is going to kick right into the rough.
Yeah, this one's a little low, a little right. Takes a weird, really high skip, but he might be able to work something out from there. As long as you get over this little hill, you'll have a shot into the basket. That looks like it's going to skip way down, and should be maybe even a jump putt to the basket. But if you don't hit the fairway, you're left with what, Andrew is, here. And this is not a guaranteed shot. This is just as tight as it can get.
Yeah, playing a little bit of Plinko on that approach. Very well executed there from Zach Sisson. Almost throws it in on his upshot. Yeah, you can see these guys. Pretty manageable upshot.
Yeah, definitely. And, Danny's shot there is probably the most open shot you're going to get on this hole. There's a good up by Andrew. And where is Harry? Here he is. Just a little forehand chipper.
Great touch there.
Yeah.
So a little kneeler putt from Moynihan, just a bit low.
Yeah, fortunate not to roll. Good birdie there by Harry. I think that's his 5th in a row. But Danny was keeping up with Harry. He just had that one hole that it rolled away and, just got away from him. But other than that, he's had a very, very solid round.
Yeah, definitely has the birdies. Just that one blemish. So hopefully you can keep that positive momentum going.
Right, hole 11, par 3, 258 feet. Kind of a hyzer that needs to end a little early of where you would want it to be. There's this OB patch kind of in the middle. So a lot of guys like to throw a hyzer and just get to the left side of that OB. And it's definitely a blind shot the whole way. I think that hit an early one, yeah.
Yeah, pulled a bit from Sisson, catches the right side, kicks him off to the left. We'll see if he got past that rough that lines the left side of the fairway. But most likely a scramble coming up. Moynihan's looking a little higher. That's what you got to do, push this ceiling.
Yeah.
Get that disc left enough.
Yeah, I've seen people just throw it straight and then try and make a putt over the OB. So you're not putting back at it, but I mean, most of the time guys are just trying to get across.
So a very difficult scramble, but executed well from Sisson, and we see where Andrew ended up. Nice tee shot and a nice putt for the birdie.
Yeah, a couple of tap-ins here. And Harry is 6 in a row.
Yeah,
Yep.
still cooking. Double turkey. Is there a name for that? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. 6-pack. 6-pack of
Come up
Coke.
with your own. Yes, yeah, there you go. In the comments, leave some suggestions. Hole 12, par 3, 320 feet. This one's a little tricky of a line. You kind of got to hit this left side with a flexing shot, working your way through these gaps here. Once you get by that second layer of trees, you're kind of home free. But yeah, and that's a really common play. So he's trying to just flex it just to the right of that tree, have it ride right for 70% of the flight, and then just fight out at the end. It's a very specific flight pattern.
Yeah, but unfortunately does not beat the tree and kicks into that right side rough. This one was looking nice from Moynihan, but catches a late tree, kicks off onto the left side. Could this be the one? Never quite came out of that one for Cochran, but looked like it got clean through most of the way.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, why aren't they taking that right side? It looks so much bigger. It just doesn't make sense to. The angle's not there, and this is what Harry now has to deal with. Let's see if he can keep his scramble game going.
Yeah, the birdie streak almost definitely going to come to an end. Will he be able to save the par? Is unlikely after that. Kind of just pitch out.
Yeah. Not an easy up and down from where he was. But he'll settle for the bogey. And I think he was even thinking like it was bound to happen. It's really tough to get through this track bogey free.
Yeah, and hole 12 did play middle of the pack at a 3.05 average, so about a good chunk of the field is taking over par strokes, but Zach Sisson is not one of them. Cans that birdie putt from 25 feet. He's going to pick up a stroke on the card.
Here's Harry coming back for his bogey. Everyone else is going to kind of tap in. So a couple of tougher holes on this back 9 compared to the front. Definitely got to make sure you hit initial lines or you're going to be scrambling and really having to work for it.
This coverage is brought to you by Myers Creek Brewing Company, a major sponsor of the Syracuse Open and steadfast supporter of the local disc golf community. Featuring 2 central New York locations, Myers Creek has been voted the best brewery in Advanced Media's 2023 Reader's Choice Awards. Come out to the Farm Brewery in Cazenovia, which includes a 9-hole disc golf course and hosts a Thursday night putt club each winter. Or stop in at the Inner Harbor Tap Room and grab yourself a pint of Bangin' Chains Session IPA. Myers Creek, proudly brewing what's next for craft beer in the heart of New York State.
All right, hole 13, par 3, 250 feet. You can take this center gap, or I know of a local line to the left that people like to take. A little up and over this little hill into this green, which does kind of drop off.
Zach opting for that flex forehand up the middle, does not quite get through.
Yeah, and these guys are both picking the center gap. I don't even know if these guys know about this left side gap.
Yeah, you can see the initial gap off the tee over there that Andrew is now kicked into. But I think it takes a little bit of late luck.
You would think. You would think. There's definitely some openings over there, but Maybe the center gap has opened up a little bit more since the last time I had been there. Either way, you got to hit a tight line.
Some nice scramble shots so far from the card. Moynihan, the only guy to really get through. But they will all have short par putts coming up. Danny actually went a little bit deep and cans the comebacker from circle 2.
There you go. Gets a little momentum here. Takes another stroke on Harry.
Par putt from Sisson.
Yeah. And these are some good saves. If you hit early, this one can get a little squirrely. Didn't mean to rhyme. I'm so sorry. But it's true. Hole 14, par 3, 328 feet. Got to hit a tight gap, and it's a low ceiling through this middle area. Once you do, this does work its way back up just a tiny bit. I've seen a lot of flex backhands, kind of what Danny is doing here. That was on a pretty good line, catches an early one, and I've also seen a lot of rollers work. This one flexes out and gets through. That'll be a nice shot there from Zach.
Ooh, what is this local line, Dan?
Yeah, this is the Sky Hyzer with the forehand. It's risk reward. If you hit it, it's clear, and if you get caught up at all, you are dropping into jail. And that was disrespectful what that tree did to Harry's disc.
Yeah, just not cut down in its prime. Gonna have to scramble for his par, but gets a nice little kiss off the tree to make up for it on his upshot. He'll have a short putt for par.
Good scrambles, and here is what Zach is left with for his birdie putt. Dealing with some scrawny trees, but able to get through them just a bit short.
No.
Come on.
Andrew's putt does have a good amount of pace, and on these Mach 5 baskets.
That was pretty. I don't know, man. That was pretty.
It was low.
Low
it was
center, man.
Low. Yeah. Tough break either way.
Chalk it up to the variance of disc golf, and happens to us all. But pars, pars not a bad result on this hole, even though that would have been a really cool bird. We're going to move on to hole 15. This is a par 4, 460 feet. There's this left side gap here if you're trying to really push, and there's a right side gap for more of a layup hyzer to get to the landing zone right about here. If you can flex one into this gap, you can get it right to here, and then it's kind of an easy chip up to this basket. So it's really a risk reward off this tee, and just how much you're willing to push it down the fairway.
Zach opting to take the right side forehand, just pitches it down into the middle area there.
Yeah, that's not good. There's like a little dry, maybe sometimes it has a little water, like creek right at the bottom of this hill. You just want to make sure you get over that. If you get over that and halfway up the hill, you have a shot in to get your birdie. Only being 460 feet.
Harry opting for that right side as well, with a little more aggressive line. It's pretty far up there. These guys all still in birdie range, just some with a little more work than others. A nice looking line there from Cochran.
Yeah, if he crested the hill, because it does kind of work its way back down. If he crested the hill and got a little skip, he might have given himself an outside the circle look. That one looked a little left to me. I'm not sure if that hit something on the way down. When Harry having to take this like sketchy left side gap. Looks like he gets enough turn on it to get down and into the basket.
Yeah, so like you said, Moynihan definitely short left. Has to pitch up for the par. Cochran just a bit low on his putt, and Sisson's at about the same distance.
Man.
Just a bit high.
Harry here, the only one left with a birdie bid, having to deal with this 4 trees in one.
Yeah, it's kind of stalled out. Hasn't seen a birdie since hole 11. Sure he'd love to get back on the birdie train here. Has to straddle out to the left. About 25 feet or so. Yes, sir.
Yeah, solid. Very solid. That's a big putt. Keep his round going. 3 more holes here, which, you know, aren't the easiest, so take as many as you can get. Everyone else is going to tap in their pars. And we're going to move our way over to 16. All right, hole 16, par 3, 343 feet. Low ceiling, it goes downhill and then back uphill. So a couple of small trees to weave in and out of. And again, it's really the low ceiling that can get you on this one. Yeah, that's a common mistake, but at least he sits in the middle of the fairway.
This is looking very nice from Danny. Leaks out a little left, but great distance control, great line. And he'll have a birdie putt.
This can ride out. This will be really good. Yeah, I think he's up there for a putt.
Yeah, it looks like it got through. Cochran opting for the forehand, but just comes out a tad low. Didn't really have the time or the height to get all the way up to the basket.
Man, that is a good upshot by Harry. That is not an easy thing to do on this hole. Cochran left with a long bid. Can't be too upset at the par on this one. Just hitting cage. See where Zach got to. Looks like 20 to 25 feet.
Yeah, it just snuck in a little long right of the basket. Has a couple of shrubs to deal with, but finds himself on the edge.
It's a good strike by him. This is definitely a tough deuce. Did play over par. Come on.
And Andrew just not having the best luck on the putting green today.
Yeah. A little frustrating for sure.
Especially once, you know, you have one or two, it's you think you have to be perfect. Can get in your head.
Yeah, absolutely. But we got to go to 17, par 3, 266 feet. Got to hit this left side, whether it's going to be a stand-up backhand or a forehand. Just making sure you push through.
This one is a bit pulled from Sisson. Fortunate break if this sits down in the middle, and it does.
Yeah.
This
I like
is
the
more
height
what you're looking for.
Yeah, that should be a good 2 look there. And ooh, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, nice break for Moynihan to kick him towards the basket. And this looks like a great forehand from Cochran. It gets the skip.
Well, sometimes, it's the basket's a little more straight than maybe what the flyover appeared. I'm curious if Cochran is in those trees to the right.
That's the first real miss we've seen from Harry from about circle's edge.
Yeah.
Maybe a little headwind lift that he didn't expect.
Jeez. Definitely wants that one back.
Yeah, good opportunity to take a stroke back from Harry, but unable to connect. So, yeah, like you said there, Dan, just skipped a bit off to the right side.
Yeah, not too bad though. If you get deep in those trees or just another 3 feet, it's tough. But he is able to take advantage of his shot and come away with the birdie. And he's not for nothing. He's had some bad luck, but there's still a whole nother round to play, and he's just got to keep going. A lot of strokes to be had at the next course as well. But definitely one you feel like you want to get. But we will be going to hole 18. This is a par 4, 445 feet, a little uphill off the tee, just a tad. But once you crest this hill, it starts working its way back down. There is going to be a little OB creek. And this whole section back here used to be all shrubs. The club did a great job clearing that section out to make this a legitimate par 4. And this one is going to be a little left, so he's going to have to scramble a bit, I would assume, unless he got some sort of kick out.
Yeah, just a nice little mid-range for Sisson.
Yeah.
Great flight will put him on the downslope of that hill and a pretty straightforward upshot into the green. But it looks like Harry is getting aggressive here.
Let's go. Get down there.
Just caught a branch at the top of that hill. It would have been great to see where he could have ended up if that got through cleanly. But
yeah, if you get to like just short of the OB, like somewhere in there, you got to putt at an eagle.
An early release for Moynihan.
Yeah, and this, the goal here is to still just get to that initial landing zone, and this is too low. That's not what you want. This is going to be a tough up and down. Yeah.
Catches another one.
It's tight,
Yeah, all kinds of struggles for our lead card here on the final hole. As Harry skips out of the out of bounds.
Woo! Got away with one.
Definitely got away with one there. So we're seeing some pitch outs from the left-hand side from both Andrew Cochran and Danny Moynihan. This one sits down just before the out of bounds.
Yeah, and, what a bid there by Zach. The old basket used to be short of kind of where they are right now, and it was always an in-betweener. And almost a really nice up and down for Andrew. And by them pushing this back, it really made it more of a legitimate par 4. And so good on them. And it's a great birdie by Harry to end his day. And quite, what a day he's had on both courses.
Yeah, 10 down round 1, 9 under round 2. We'll take a look at the leaderboard here in a second to see where that lands him. But got to think he will at least have a share of the lead after this. Andrew Cochran, not the day he was looking for, I'm sure, had some tough putts not go his way. Finishing at 2 under. We do have to give a shout out. Chris Brown with the eagle. Did you already mention that, Dan?
I didn't.
Myself? Okay.
No, you're not. No, congratulations, Chris. I knew it could be Eagles. I haven't seen it, but I knew it could be. So nice job.
Yep, and a Tap and par there for Zach. Sisson ends his day at 4 under par as well, 14 under. As we take a look at the leaderboard, or at least the card leaderboard first, Danny Moynihan 3 under, puts him at 14. We will see if that is enough to keep these guys on the lead card. And it is not. Ezra Lockington with the hot round at 10 under par. We'll see him for the third and final round, as well as Ethan Yager and Matt Miller rounding out our card. Well done, gents. Thank you to Elevation Discs for supporting this coverage. And thank you all for watching. We've got one more round of the Syracuse Open, so make sure to subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow to see who takes this event down.